Motor Speedway. They're lean, they're mean, they're 5 to 7 horses, a man and machine. They're 4 wide before they start to slip and slide. The Coast to Coast Racing League 350A Modifieds, Pro Late Models, and the 360 Sprint Cars. Monday Night Madness. Back with you right here on the Coast to Coast Racing Network and Slide Job Racing Network. We got a good one around the corner. Open 358 and the Rebels and Renegades set to take on the house that Earl built, the Eldora Speedway. A lot of wide open racing, that's for sure, and what to expect here tonight. We're so glad you could join us here once again on the Coast to Coast Racing Network. Marty Sakala with you. Zach, unfortunately, not able to be with me tonight, but still, regardless, we thank you all so much for joining us. Before we get right into the action, I do want to take an opportunity to say to those of you that reached out after my dad died last week, I just want to say a simple thank you. It was very tough, obviously, to go through, but I tuned in and watched a little bit of Monday night to see the RSN trackside car win in Open 358s. Was so cool to see. Nearly saw the Marty Mobile, Brandon Dittmer winning the Rebels, and Patrick Spangler taking the Booth Boys to victory lane in the Renegades. Again, thank you all so much for the support. Definitely appreciate it. Definitely meant a lot. I'm so glad you guys were thinking about me in these tough times as we continue to do so. But we got some race to get to here tonight with the Open 358. 25 drivers with us here. They've had a good start to their fall season, and right now it's Isaac Salas with 2 wins and Anthony Morano with the dub on the season early. The points so far have a 13-point advantage for Salas on Trevor Giroux. Here's a look at the standings right now at the moment in practice times. Curtis Roberts is currently the quickest in the 66 as he makes his Open 358 debut at a 15:85. That's followed up by Michael Vitale, Anthony Morano, Scott Rayome, and Dan McLaren. 25 drivers with us, so we will have a B main this evening as well as 4 sets of heat races tonight. As drivers are currently just wrapping up their drivers meeting. There's Logan Roberts in car number 66. Right now the quickest, so good start. Definitely have to assume that he hopped into the session a little bit earlier than normal, so we got a fresh track. That meant track was a lot faster than it is right now. So drivers meeting currently taking place at the moment. Thank you all so much for joining us here tonight. Let us know who you're rooting for in the chat. We'll give you a shout out live and on the air. Qualifying is about ready to begin here for 2 minutes on the clock. And again, we invert the top 4 drivers prior to the green flag and heat action. First driver we'll watch, the driver of the Gears Unlimited, number 213. That is the jokester, Michael Vitale. Vitale 8th on points on the season with a top 5 and 2 top 10s. So not bad of a start for the jokester at the moment. Not going to see a lot on your screen than you normally do. About 2 weeks ago, we were going through some really bad technical difficulties, so we're trying to figure out what the problem is on the computer. As Vitale clocks in second quickest at a 16:68. Isaac Salas, meanwhile, to the top of the charts in the Venom Racing number 5, 16:43. Scott Rayome, though, also second quick in the Full Throttle 4 with a 16:46. Slide Job Scotty across the line as a 16:62 on lap number 2. Salas right now the quickest at a 16:361. He was quicker on lap number 2. Anthony Morano, meanwhile, up to second at a 16:39. Gavin Chatham is third at a 16:42. Sam Bachman, the 107, third quickest on lap 1. He clocks in at a 16:39. Sees in the orange in sector 1. Can he have a better second half of the second lap? Yes, he does, but it could be pretty close to see if he improves. 16:40 on lap 2. Curtis Roberts goes 12th on lap number 1 at a 16:52. He's got about half lap to go. 15 seconds left in qualifying. This is the final driver that will take time here before our first heat race. A better sector 1, but is off at a 16:55. Just had a couple more drivers join us. Isaac Salas, though, regardless, is the quickest. So Ludovic Boussois, Logan Wentz, Dylan Kinsey, and John Morano will start on pole position for each of the 4 heats we have here tonight. And so we're ready to go for heat race number 1, which is brought to you by our friends at Gambler Motorsports, an official team of the Coast to Coast Racing Network. It's an all-Canadian front row as Ludovic Boussois and Trevor Giroux, the Philly Flyer, make up row number 1. Row number 2, it's Slide Job Scotty, Scott Rayome in the number 5, and Slide Jobs Isaac Salas in the 5. Row number 3, Superman, Kurt Schatzer, he's in the 218, and the Mayor, Steve Bixler, in the 75. Rounding out the grid, I love still seeing this car out there for sure. The Spider Monkey, Brandon Dittmer in the RSN Trackside number 48. Winner tonight starts on the pole for our feature this evening as we are underway for Heat 1. Boussois with the early lead. 4 wide for the top spot already. We're wasting no time getting down to business as it's Rayome that's got the early race lead. Trevor Giroux in second, just barely clears Boussois in the 072, who scrapes the wall for a moment as Scott Rayome leads the opening lap. 3 wide for that third position, but it's still Rayome commanding the troops at bay. Giroux with a good run around the outside. The 0.75 to the point. A nice run for the Philly Flyer with a 16.52 rip in the wall. Salas third, Bourgeois in fourth. Remember, top 4 drivers transferred the feature. Kurt Schatzer trying to fight for a spot in. Steve Bixler also trying to become a part of this, as Schatzer has the final transfer spot. Bourgeois in 5th position. And now Schatzer and Salas go to work for 3rd on the racetrack. As we're halfway home, 4 up and 4 down, and it's Trevor Giroux. The 0.4 of a second lead on Scott Rayome, and now Salas attacks the 4 of Rayome for that runner-up position. Can the number 5 take it away at the line? Way too close to call. I think it was slide job Scotty, but Isaac Salas decides to rip the bottom. Doesn't risk the slide job despite being quicker the last lap at a 16.34. He follows his Venom Racing teammate. 3 laps to go in Heat 1, and he has cleared Scott Rayome. 16.45, Salas, the fastest car on the racetrack at Eldora Speedway. Schatzer still in that final transfer spot. Bourgeois, though, wants to take it away. That Glenn Steyer 72 throws the slide job on Kurt Schatzer. In the wall, meanwhile, Steve Bixler with 1 lap to go. They bang Nerf burrs for the 4th position. Who gets in and who starts on pole for the B-Main tonight? Bourgeois has it. Does Schatzer send it in 3 and 4? You know who's going to win this race. Final spot in. Bourgeois takes it over Schatzer. Schatzer got caught up on the number 4 and had to left. And that helped out that Glenn Steyer's ride get into the show. But it's the Philly Flyer, Trevor Giroux, that picks up the win in heat race number 1. Let's move on to the lineup here for heat race number 2. It's Logan Wentz on the pole in the 118. To his outside, it's Dean Reynolds in the 79. Row number 2, it's the 88 of Soupy, Dan McLaren. To his outside, the Ant-Man, Anthony Morano, the Magic Ant-Man, I gotta be specific, in the 32. Row number 3, Bud Molyneux. He's in the 883 tonight. Next to him, it's Randy Shreves in car number 56. And the final car on the grid is B-Temp, Brandon Templeton in the 31. Mark checking in, saying welcome back. Appreciate the good thoughts. Jason Butterfield rooting for Venom. Mark also says, glad you made it back from Kansas City. Yeah, you got to watch the Melon Man take the checkered flag for the first time this season.
Green flag, green flag.
Heat 2, meanwhile, underway here at Eldora. McLaren nearly gives a bumper to Logan Wentz. Up the track goes Molyneux as he nearly hits Anthony Morano. That slows up 5th through 7th for just a little bit. Wentz throws it with a little slide job on his teammate as Reynolds and Wentz go wing to wing for the race lead. I think it was Wentz that led the opening lap. Dan McLaren tries to make it a 3-man horseshoe, maybe even a 4-man horseshoe with the Magic Ant-Man in it. McLaren tries to go for the 2-for-1 discount for the lead. Oh, look out, Wentz a little sideways, caught the quarter panel of Dean Reynolds, and Dino's able to hang on to it. McLaren, though, quickest guy on track after 2 laps of the 16.47. 3 wide once again for that 2nd position, as it's Morano stuck in the middle, and now he lifts for just a moment. Wentz and McLaren stay door-to-door for 2nd. Good racing here, and again, Wentz really sideways. Has to back out of it for just a moment. Morano with another slider on his FTM teammate. We're halfway home, 4 up and 4 down, and it's a good lead for Dean Reynolds already. 1/4 of a second. McLaren, though, keeping it tight for right now. Three laps to go in this heat. Remember, winner starts on the outside of row number 1. McLaren would love to start next to his Venom teammate in Trevor Giroux. Morano now takes a peek on McLaren for that runner-up position. McLaren cuts down the lower line as Morano switches back up to the outside, looks for the grip off the corner. The McLaren still there with Dean Reynolds. They remain side by side. White flag is out this time by 1 lap to go. Dean Reynolds or Dan McLaren, we'll have to see. The quickest car on track, though, 4th place Logan Wentz, but he's about a second behind everybody here. Is it Reynolds or is it McLaren? Who starts on the front row tonight? Reynolds with the advantage off of turn 4 and takes the win in Heat 2. McLaren second, Morano third, Wentz fourth, Shreves fifth, and Molyneux in 6th. That heat race, by the way, brought to you by Regency Home Inspection. Official home inspection provider of the Coast to Coast Racing League. We now move on to Heat 3, brought to you by Maurer Farm Insurance, the official sponsor of the Retreads division. Dylan Kinsey starts on pole position, the 639. Next to him, Brian Dickens, the 122. Row number 2, it's the Jokester. And Michael Vitale in the 213. And Sam Bachman in the 107. Row number 3, Bob DeGood in car 7. And Jake the Snake Henry in the 171. Riding out the grid here tonight, it's 100 grand Joseph Grant, the 518, but makes the no call on the grid this evening. Winner starts on the inside of row number 2 tonight as we're ready to go green for our third of 4 heat races at Eldora. Good jump from Dylan Kinsey. Slides up in front of Dickens to clear. Henry squeezes Bachman in the wall, but somehow the 107 keeps it straight as Bob DeGood looks underneath for the 3rd position, but able to not get it to work as Bachman edges out Henry for 3rd. They still ride. They still lean on another. As Kinsey leads lap number 1 by about 3 car lengths on Brian Dickens. And around goes Jake Henry. No, what a save by the 171. This allows both Vitale and DeGood to close on in. As they're on board with that 213. Peeks underneath on Henry for that final spot in the show. Bob DeGood kisses the wall. And he loses some ground on the 213. Now looks to regain it. Bachman, quickest driver on track as he looks for a second. A little bit of contact made between him and the 122. Dickens the preferred line on corner exit once again. Ripping that lip. Now is cleared Bachman. Now can he try and go possibly catch Dylan Kinsey? Bachman, though, able to fight back for the runner-up spot. Looks underneath. Both the low side, the high side work very well at Eldora, but in their separate ways. High side very good on corner exit. The low line very good on corner entry. Especially if you want to throw that slide job, chances are likely that it'll work. 2 laps to go in this battle for second. This one's far from over between Bachman and Dickens. If one clears, they have a chance at catching the leader. In fact, Bachman that last lap was the quickest car on the track at a 16.50. Both of them quicker than Dylan Kinsey with 1 lap to go. Winner starts inside of row number 2. Bachman looking for a chance on his FTM teammate to steal the heat win from him. It's coming down to FTM. Kinsey or Bachman, give it to the 639 who wins the heat. Dickens 3rd, Vitale 4th, Henry 5th, DeGood in 6th. We now move on to our final heat race of the night. Here is how they line up. On the pole, John Morano in the 33. Next to him, it's Curtis Roberts in the number 66. Row number 2, Randall Dixon in the 011. The Bandit starts next to Gavin Chatham with the 99. Final row tonight, Harold Klumpy's in car number 2. And the Bird to Beast is next to him, Jeff Barker in the 513.
green.
Here we go for heat 4. Winner starts to the outside of row number 2. Pace laps at speeds of over 100 miles an hour in turn number 3. Roberts and Morano duke at it for the lead. The 66 leads the opening lap. Dixon peaks underneath for second. Jeff Barker sideways in the background. That bright 513 in the 5th position. Dixon Till still trying to get second. While Harold Klump currently owns the final transfer spot in the 4th position. You ride on board with him in that dirt track untold ride. Dixon underneath. That battle for second continuing to heat up. Barker, meanwhile, has reeled back in the number 2. That final spot in the show. And he could have a chance to catch him here as we approach the halfway point with 4 laps to go in heat race number 4. But Gavin Chatham, though, still surprised to see him out of a transfer spot at the moment. Kisses the wall in turn number 2. Big run off the corner. Could have a chance on Klump for 4th. But Klump and Dixon get together in the race for 3rd. How they kept it straight, I don't know. Chatham in 5th, now still trying to get a transfer spot in. And this is one of the faster drivers here in Coast to Coast. Coming to 2 laps to go here in the heat race, and Curtis Roberts has checked out of the hotel with about a 1-second lead on this entire pack. Chatham still trying to get that final spot from Harold Klump. White flag flies, 1 lap remains, and now Chatham moves up to 4th. Klump now in survival mode. Contact between John Morano and Randall Dixon. Everybody stacks up. Harold Klump was able to dodge the scene, though. Here comes Jeff Barker underneath. Final spots on the line here before the B main. Roberts with the win. 4th to Morano. Dixon 2nd. Klump 3rd. Chatham and Barker go to the B main. What a finish to that heat race behind Roberts. So we now move on to the B main. We'll see who takes the green flag for this one. On the pole, it's Superman Kurt Schatzer in the 218. To his outside, it's Randy Shreves in the 56. Row number 2, Jake the Snake Henry in the 171, and Gavin Chatham in the 99. Row number 3, the Mayor, Steve Bixler in the 75, and Bud Molyneux in the 883. Row number 4, Bob DeGood in the 7, and the Brute to Beast, Jeff Barker next to him in the 513. Running out the top 10 here tonight, the Spider Monkey, Brandon Dittmer in the 83. No calls from Brandon Templeton and Joseph Grandy, so 1 driver will go home out of this one. Do want to give a mention as well. Our thoughts continue with those that are impacted by Hurricane Helene. Definitely devastating and tragic for sure. If you want to donate some money, go to the American Red Cross. They definitely need the help and support. Green flag is out. 10-lap B main. If you finish last, you go home. We'll focus on the driver in 8th after lap number 1. Schatzer, though, gets away with the early race lead. Shreves and Chatham duke at it for the 2nd position. Lap number 1 led by Schatzer. Final car in at the moment is Bob DeGood. Brandon Dittmer fading just a little bit. The driver, the number 7. A little bit of contact in front of him. Everybody, though, finds a way to keep it straight. Bixler starting to fade just a little bit to Bob DeGood, but Bixler has an insurance spot at the moment. Three laps complete. Randy Shreves, quickest driver on the track, as that's the battle for the race lead. Shreves, high, wide, and handsome through Kurt Schatzer, and he takes the lead away in this B main. Back to 8th, as I think we just saw some issues with Bud Molyneux in the 883, and I think we just did. We'll see what happened here. Was there contact between him and Steve Bixler, possibly? Yes, there was. Molyneux got hooked. Luckily, he just spun and tapped the wall. So we'll have to hope for a wreck in front of him, but Bobby Good has the final spot in now. Brandon Dittmer has moved his way up to 7th, so Dittmer would have been in regardless right now because of him passing Bobby Good at the moment. Bixler rides 6th, Jeff Barker 5th. All the drivers hanging out around the outside. No one trying to take any big risks here at the moment with 3 to go in the B main. Jets are up in the wall. And 2 laps remain. Driver the 218 trying to look low for that race lead. That doesn't work. Pushed up a lot up that hill as the final lap is underway. Gavin Chatham in 4th. Quickest driver on track. 5th, 16:56 last time by. As he looks for 3rd on Jake Henry. Here comes Randy Shreves off the corner. Checkers way. Shreves wins the B main. The battle for 3rd. Henry edges out Chatham. Schatzer 2nd. Then it's Barker, Bixler, Dittmer, DeGood, Bud, Molyneux heads home. So we will step away, take our first break of the night. When we come back, it's feature time on the Coast to Coast Racing Network. Back here as action continues on the Coast to Coast Racing Network as Isaac Salas is the quickest driver on track at a 16.486. Trevor Giroux second with a 16.55. Anthony Morano third, 16.6. Dylan Kinsey fourth, 16.61. And Sam Bachman fifth, 16.62. See those of you checking in, hello to Gary, as always, rooting for Venom Racing. And let us know who you're rooting for in the chat. See who's checking in here tonight. So action is complete here for warm-ups We are ready to go for our first feature of the night. Let's meet the field and give you your starting lineup. Starting lineup's brought to you by RSN Trackside. And on the pole, it's the Philly Flyer, Trevor Giroux in the 75. Next to him, it's Dean Reynolds in the 79. Row number 2, Dylan Kinsey in the 639, and Curtis Roberts in the 66. Row 3, Slide Job, Isaac Salas in the 5, and Dan McLaren in car number 88. Row number 4, Sam Bachman in the 107, and Randall Dix in the Bandit in the 011. Rounding out the top 10 here tonight, Slide Job Scott Rayoma in the 4, and the Ant-Man, Anthony Morano in the 107. In the 32. Row number 6, Brian Dickens in the 122, and Harold Klump in car number 2. Row number 7, Ludovic Boussois in the 072, and Logan Wentz in the 118. Row number 8, the Jokester, Michael Vitale in the 213, and John Morano in the 33. Rest of the field looks like this. Randy Shreves, Kurt Schatzer. That's row number 9. Jake the Snake Henry and Gavin Chatham, row 10. The Brute to Beast, Jeff Barker, the Mayor, Steve Bixler in row 11. And the Spider Monkey, Brandon Dittmer, and Bob DeGood round out the field for tonight. Time for picks to win here this evening. I'm going to go with the driver of the 75. I think Trevor Giroux takes the win from pole. So moments away from our Flatline Racing Bodies green flag, Steve King Foundation Pace Truck in pit road. Time to shake and bake for the first time. We'll leave you silent on lap number 1. Giroux and Reynolds bring us to green. Giroux leads lap number 1, but he left the door wide open for Dean Reynolds on the top shelf where Mama hides the cookies. Nearly 3 wide for second as well at the same time as the fireworks go off. Reynolds now peeks downstairs as Giroux covers the top. Look at that, nearly 4 wide in turn number 4. Here comes Curtis Roberts, the debuting Curtis Roberts. Underneath on the 79 of Reynolds for the second position. Can he get the bite off for turn 2, possibly get it to stick? Yes, he can. Now does he go after the Philly Flyer for the race lead? That he does. The battle is on for the top spot. Giroux hanging on for right now. And Roberts is the quicker driver at the moment at 16.78. But look who else is coming. Oh, big crash behind them. That's the 72 of Boussois that went around. Jake Henry may have also been collected, and same with Kurt Schatzer, but Boussois in the Len Steyer's Racing number 72 took a big impact. He caught the jersey barrier. That was Harold Klump, the other car that was involved. You saw Kurt Schatzer lose the right front. Let's run on board with Boussois. Alrighty. One lap till we take the green flag here for our next restart of the night. Trevor Giroux selects the bottom. He and Curtis Roberts share row 1. Dean Reynolds and Sam Bachman in row 2. Isaac Salas, Dylan Kinsey, row number 3. Dan McLaren, Scott Rayome, row 4. And Anthony Morano, Randall Dixon round out the top 10. Green flag waves back at it here at Eldora. And Giroux caught Curtis Roberts sleeping, allows Reynolds to look underneath to take the runner-up spot away. Has help from behind and Isaac Salas. Bachman behind the 66. The question is, who's going to get second at the stripe? All signs point towards Curtis Roberts, and that's the case. And now Roberts starts to attack Giroux for the race lead. Peeks underneath. Reynolds down in Mama's basement, though. Looking for that bite off the corner at the same time, helping him save tires, too. Some good stuff up near the front of this field. The FTMP teammates, meanwhile, battle for the final step on the podium. Not only do you have Reynolds and Bachman, but Dylan Kinsey up there as well. He rides to the 5th spot. And look at how tight this is from our aerial shot. Even with it being an open setup. Here comes Roberts underneath for the race lead. Can he take it away from Trevor Giroux? Not just yet. Roberts may think about sliding, but Giroux tries to protect the bottom and try and squeeze him down there. Helps out the Philly Flyer, get a good corner exit and hang on to the lead. Roberts may not like that. He may go for the slide job in 1 and 2. Nope, decides not to do so. They stay door to door, but Giroux catches the wall. So Curtis Roberts out to the front for the first time tonight. Now looks to lead his first lap of the day, and that's the case. You've got a new leader. It's the 66. Giroux now forced to fight for the runner-up spot. Alongside Kinsey and Bachman, Dino fell back a little bit. He's down in the 6th position, along with Scott Rayome and Anthony Morano. Caution flag waves for the second time tonight. And it's Kurt Schatzer once again, Brandon Dittmer, Jeff Barker all involved in this one. We're hearing there may have been something that happened too with Brian Dickens. This was not the cause of the accident. We saw Dickens go off the racetrack. His hammer-down teammate, Kurt Schatzer, though, causes the yellow. Up in the wall in turn 2. Oh, no, it happened in front of him with John Morano, and Schatzer had nowhere to go. You see Dittmer on the binders. Jeff Barker also spun out in that, too. Let's ride on board with Superman. Morano's with a green car in the background. Yeah, the vision wasn't impeded until he caught the wall driver's side. Jeff Barker may give you a good onboard here. Yep. Morano, the green car. There was some contact from Gavin Chatham for the looks of it. Then he got yeeted from behind. Lights are off, coming back to the green flag, wasting no time. We have 10 laps complete when we take the green, and we have a new leader. Curtis Roberts selects the bottom next to Trevor Giroux. Dylan Kinsey, Sam Bachman, row 2. Isaac Salas, Dean Reynolds, row 3. Scott Rayome, Anthony Morano, row 4. Randall Dixon, Dan McLaren round out the top 10. We watch this restart for the Chapman Racing drone. Back at it. Roberts holds serve. Salas looks low, 3 wide for second underneath Kinsey and Trevor Giroux. That, though, doesn't work. Bachman tries to become a factor in this, too. Decides not to go 4 wide, though. 11 laps through in the books. Curtis Roberts hanging on to the race lead at the moment. And now the leaders are all up on the outside. That seems to be the game right now. Get up to the top shelf as quick as you can. First guy downstairs is Anthony Morano, but that's a driver that loves to go to the bottom. He loves to go where the leaders don't. Here comes Salas, meanwhile, trying to attack Kinsey for that 4th position. Tries to make the pass off for turn 2, work, unable to do so. Bachman as well works on the Philly Flyer for the runner-up spot. That doesn't work either. Kinsey hangs on to 4th. Salas still 5th, and Morano back in the 6th position. Morano now switches on the outside. Tries to make his way past Salas, uses the bank and has momentum, and the Ant-Man moves up to 5th. He's one of your biggest movers on track, up 5 spots at the moment. The official biggest mover is up 7. It's Morano's having some internet issues. Giroux still stuck in 2nd after starting from the pole position. Now trying to reel in Curtis Roberts once again for the lead. Halfway home, 15 up and 15 down. Yellow flag waves, and it's for Brandon Dittmer. He has lost the right front sneaker on the RSN trackside 48. He had already lost it for a while. Leaders were just approaching him. He was just way too slow. He was already getting out of the leader's way, though. And I think he was trying to steer that puppy onto pit road. But the pits were closed because of the yellow. A reminder coming up next, the Rebels take on the Eldora Speed Race. You don't want to miss out on that. Here we come for the restart. Again, single file for the rest of the way, as we've already had 2 double file restarts.
Green, green, green.
Good restart from Roberts in that 66. Giroux and Bachman battle for second. The full throttle teammates of Morano and Kinsey race each other for fourth. Salas, meanwhile, I think he may have just edged Kinsey at the line for fifth. I'm not too sure. If a yellow comes out, we'll have to look back at timing and see. Oh, they get together. Both of them hang on to it, though. It was right front to left rear, and man, great car control from both of them. Meanwhile, it is still Curtis Roberts out in front of that 66. His first ever Monday night start with us. Imagine if he starts it right with a perfect 1-for-1. I'm double checking everything here as well. He may have actually run one race already on a Thursday night, but that name popped up as Randall Roberts, and there is a Randall Roberts in Open 358, so that may be actually him. I'm not too sure. His best finishes, though, 28th at USA and a 14th at Kokomo last week. As we have 10 laps to go, we're coming to 9 next time by. Bachman and Giroux racing each other very hard for the second position, but Roberts unable to pull away from all of this. And Giroux has the preferred line off at turn number 2. Roberts may be saving tires, or he's saving fuel possibly. Not too sure what's going on, but Giroux has reeled in the driver of the 66 with 8 laps remaining. Four cars all under a blanket, battling for the win at Eldora. Giroux, high, wide, and handsome through turns number 3 and 4. New leader, the Philly Flyer, back out in front. If you're Roberts, you may be regretting slide jobbing the leader, possibly. Trying to gain some ground. Oh, look out, Giroux got turned. Oh, my goodness, he's around with Morano. He's upside down. Salas on 2 wheels. The big one breaks down at Eldora. What in the hell just happened? The leaders all get together. Roberts remains out in front. Pandemonium has broken out at the Big E. Ooh, Bachman just barely hooked Giroux. Even caught Roberts in all of that. And man, oh man, look at this junkyard. Unbelievable. On board with, we're going to ride on board with a couple of drivers here. Anthony Morano, the first one. Got on the back of Drew. That was going to save it. Then he got rammed from behind. Isaac Salas on board. Yeah, he got on the back of the 32. Didn't see that one coming, that's for sure. Trevor Giroux right on board with the leader. Oops, I'm sorry, not him. Scott Rayome. Final one, then we're coming back to green. Giroux nowhere to go. Or excuse me, Rayome nowhere to go when Giroux's spin came right down the path of him. Alrighty, so this has changed everything. 6 laps to go. Roberts gets a gift, but how much damage is on the 66? We know Bachman is probably a lot cleaner because there was just a simple bump. Oh, couple of cars up the wall. It was both McLaren and Bachman. They may have had a very slick spot. Kinsey up to second. Here comes Dino up in the 4th position, but McLaren has it over the 79. 5 laps to go here. Curtis Roberts still hanging on to that race lead, but he's got another FTM driver, Dylan Kinsey. That's trying to hunt him down. McLaren still hanging on as they ride on each other for the 4th spot. Kinsey trying the top once again. Has he found Mama's cookies, though, off of turn number 4? Just like Giroux did. I think he may have the line with 3 laps to go. Bachman now tries to play a factor in all this. Roberts still trying to hang on. He's lost so much time. He's down to 3rd. This may be a thing where he may be saving fuel, possibly. He's lost so much ground to the FTM drivers as McLaren's in the wall. Dino makes contact with a 66. Roberts is fading badly. Final lap is underway, and it's come down to a pair of FTM teammates, Dylan Kinsey or Sam Bachman. Who takes the win in the Open 358 showdown? Kinsey has the lead by a car length. Bachman tries for one final shot. It won't work. Dylan Kinsey takes the win. Big battle for 3rd, 4 wide across the line, and it was Gavin Chatham from 20th to the podium. Oh, baby. What a thrilling finish for 3rd. Now, hopefully, Chatham's able to get to the podium. We know Dylan Kinsey is quite capable of doing that for sure. Chatham as well gets the Hard Charger Award for that performance. As we look at the results, Chatham with a great run. Had as well Jake Henry and Jeff Barker up there as well, up 12 and 13. Dino, I thought for a moment, was going to grab 3rd there in those final laps. He sure did have a really good chance at the end. Ludovic Poussois up 2 spots, regained up to 11th after spinning earlier on the night. And I think without question, the Heartbreak's got to go to the man that finished in 19th, Trevor Giroux. Wow. Why, that sure definitely makes things a little bit interesting now for sure. Towards the rest of the Open 358 season. And let's talk to the man first off that finished in 3rd, Gavin Chatham. Man, oh man, what a race for you tonight. I'm sure with the way you started in the back, I'm sure you'll take a 3rd place finish for sure.
Oh, absolutely. It was a fantastic run. great teamwork all around. It was definitely a good run for sure. Definitely caught some breaks there and got lucky. Getting through some of those wrecks. And that last wreck definitely helped me out a bunch. I gained I was in 12th. I think I gained 6 spots on that, and then it was just it was on from there. We're top six. You got a good shot at it. Maybe not at the win, but definitely a shot at the podium. Definitely top five. And it's just tough. It's tough to pass here. Everybody's running the top, and everyone has speed, so it makes it more difficult. But yeah, we'll take a third day or third place all day.
Well, it's working out well for you as a whole.
Car was just working really well. Definitely a shout out to the FTM guys. They definitely helped me out get fast in these modifieds. But big shout out to them. But just you know, I shouldn't give all. I don't want to give anything away, but just a certain line I was running, just especially off of turn four, I was getting such huge runs and carrying a lot of momentum down into turn one. And I think that was just the key. Everyone kind of was running. That helped at the start too. Everyone's kind of running the middle there, and I went right to the top, and I gained a bunch of spots as well. So you got to go where they're not, and we're definitely making a top roll tonight.
Who do you want to give shout outs to?
I just want to thank you, Marty, for doing an awesome job with the broadcast, Coast to Coast Racing, everybody behind the scenes, all the sponsors, admin, everybody who allows or puts these leagues on or these races on and allows us to come out here and race them. I just want to thank Chatham Motorsports, Mike Schick Motorsports Design, Velocity Race Design, Northeast Outlaw Motorsports, Miller Time Motorsports. Thank you, all the sponsors. I just want to thank the fans for coming out and watching. I hope that was a good one for you. It was definitely exciting going to the line there for third place. And then I just want to thank my fans as well for coming out and watching the races and supporting.
That it does. Great job tonight, and best of luck in Renegades in a little bit.
All right, sounds good. Thanks, Marty.
Gavin Chatham finishes third here. Let's go to the second place finisher in Sam Bachman. Sam, you were there all over Dylan Kinsey. What more did you feel like you may have needed there in those final laps for him?
First off, just want to tell Trevor, apologize to him or whatever for spinning him out, but I got into the wall after that restart, and I think it messed me up a little bit, and I couldn't keep my car straight enough in the corners to get a good exit, catch DK there, but he was just a little bit faster, but I was hoping I could get a slider on him, so we got a really good battle, but he was just a little bit faster, and he came out with the dub.
We were seeing some issues happen with that 66. Do you think maybe he was trying to make sure he had enough fuel to the end?
I feel like that could have been it. 'Cause I felt like he was gonna go to the top on that last restart, but he didn't. So he might have been a little short on fuel, I guess.
Well, who do you want to give shout outs to on this run? Another good finish for you tonight.
All the boys over at FTM, Gunnar at Swan Speed Shop, he's really been working hard getting us some dig. Expert Installation, Dean over at Super Dirt Car Series, Marty, you for broadcasting, and Coast to Coast for putting this on.
Alrighty, well, great job tonight, and best of luck. I don't know if we'll see you later tonight. If not, we'll talk to you Thursday, hopefully.
Sounds good, Marty.
Sam Bachman finishing in second. Now we go to Victory Lane to talk with your winner tonight. Dylan Kinsey gets it done. It is his first win of the season, Open 358 action. A nice performance there for you. The high side, without question, that was the place to be tonight.
Oh, for sure. I don't even really know what to say. I was back to six at one point, I think, and I told the guys at Discord, I'm like, I need to figure out this top fast because I don't know what else to do. And then I don't. They got in a wall up there, and then I just found the top after that caution with Trevor, and I don't know. I don't know. I just found it for some reason the last 5 laps.
Well, you were able to work, get it to work. Were you surprised the 66 didn't go to the top?
Oh, for sure. Especially he had to see me and Sam coming hard, like what, 3 laps to go. Pat just blowing his doors off on the high side. I'm not really sure what was going on with him. The only thing I think of maybe he had a lower gear and he was spinning his tires, running the lower part of the track most of the night. So I don't know. I'm not sure.
Yeah, some of us were thinking maybe either fuel or we're thinking maybe he had a lower gear and possibly. But regardless of that, man, you're the winner. Who do you want to give shout outs to on this run?
First, I gotta give it up to Gavin. I mean, guy started deep and he got up to third. That was awesome to see. He hasn't been around that much, so that's good for him. Got to thank everyone at FTM, Gunnar at Swan Speed Shop, Dean Reynolds at Super Dirt Car, DJ for the rap, you, Marty, for the broadcast. Still thinking of you, buddy. And everyone at Coast to Coast that makes it happen.
I appreciate that for sure, man. But hey, It's all about you tonight. You're the winner in the Open 358s. Congratulations. Well done.
Thanks, Marty.
Dylan Kinsey gets the win tonight in Open 358 competition, his first of the season. We're going to step aside and take a commercial break, our second one of the night. When we come back, the Rebels take on Eldora right here on the Coast to Coast Racing Network. It's time for another edition of RSN Trackside, powered by Bob Johnson Auto Group on Rock Sports Network. Gets on the champion, trying to be a
Bit of a hiatus, so let's get.
Right when we were talking about it.
Outpouring of love was amazing. These dollars had come together to support us, and we realized no, we didn't want to use them for us. We wanted to use them to help others.
The foundation has done so much for so many people. It helps any family that has somebody, whether it be a crew member or one of the drivers, that get hurt. We can help them to get through the situation.
I was injured in a non-wing sprint car accident that broke my neck and left me with a spinal cord injury. I was in the hospital 8 months, and that got really, really expensive, so having that extra help to help push me and my family forward was a big deal.
I was involved in a pretty gnarly sprint car crash, found out my brain was swelling and bleeding, pelvic bone was broken. I had 2 cracked vertebrae on my back, and I was in the ICU a little over a week. The Steve King Foundation reached out to my parents. We received a donation from them. Immediately, they started me on what's called neurofeedback, and insurance did not cover the neurofeedback appointments. So we received another donation from the Steve King Foundation. It really helped a lot, and I just want to say thank you. Thank you from the bottom of my heart to the Steve King Foundation for everything that they have done for me. This last Sunday, I got to turn laps in my modified here. That was my first laps back in a race car since the accident, and I truly believe that if it wasn't for the Steve King Foundation, I wouldn't be able to do that or be where I'm at today.
Yes, Steve's death is the reason the foundation exists, but it's Steve's life, and it's the lives of racers everywhere, is the reason we're able to do the work we do.
We're back here on the Coast to Coast Racing Network as we get set to go for B Division Rebels, and we're looking forward to a good one with the Rebels tonight here. Marty Sakala back with you on the Coast to Coast Racing Network. As always, we are so glad that you could join us here for action. Let's see who is checking in here tonight. Gary Sigelcow. Oh, crap. All right, I think we're good. Just making sure we are good to go. We should be. But anyway, with the Rebels as we prepare here tonight, let's look at the standings here. 3 races on in. 1 win each from Dan McLaren, Isaac Salas, and Kyle McCutcheon. So we will see who is going to be next here. 20 of them, 20 drivers here with us this evening checking in as the checkered flags here just waved. So I believe we'll have 3 heats here this evening, and everybody makes it into the show. Get you your first driver out here onto the racetrack in just a moment, and we'll watch the number 31 of B-Temp, Brandon Templeton, make his way onto the racetrack. First lap underway here for the driver of the dirt track bank ride. Goes 13:55 on his opening lap. Isaac Salas second quick at a 13:59. See if anyone comes in purple. Templeton does in sector 2 and is quicker at a 13:51. But Isaac Salas, quick time at a 13:369. 1:3369 for slide job, Isaac Salas. Let's go to Steve Bixler, the mayor, off of turn number 4, is 10th quick in the 75. Does he have a better lap? Yes, he does. 13:81 to 9th quick. The Goose, Jack Cote, 4th quickest on lap 1. 13:52 in the Highline entry. But a slower lap on lap number 2. Puts him down to a 13:65. Ludovic Boussois is 9th quick on lap 1, 13:67 on the opening lap, as we have 20 seconds of qualifying remaining here. His second lap time, is it better? Oh, Dan McLaren, hello, quick time at a 13:360. 8 thousandths quicker than Isaac Salas. He's the quickest man on the track, and so that means Boussois, Preston Cranmer, Gary Taylor on pole for each of the 3 heats. What a blistering lap for Soupy Dan. First heat race of the night brought to you by Gambler Motorsports. Here is how they line up. On the pole, Louvet Boussois in the 072. Next to him, it's Brian Moore Jr. in car number 09. Row number 2, B-Temp, Brandon Templeton in the 31, and Soupy Dan McLaren in the 88. Row number 3, the Mayor, Steve Bixler in the 75, and Greg Parmalee in car number 4. Final car on the grid for Heat 1, Michael Todd. He's in the number 117. Our buddy the Toxic Texan checking in, saying that was an exciting race. That it was for sure. And our buddy Corey checking in, is always rooting for Venom.
Green flag.
Green flag is out. Heat race number 1 underway here at Eldora. And we were already 3 wide for the race lead and for pole position, not just once but twice. Dan McLaren comes out like a bat out of hell looking for the race lead. And McLaren leads the open lap. What a car he's got underneath that Black Rifle Coffee Company. He had a couple of cups early before we took the green flag, that's for sure. Brandon Templeton underneath on the 072 of Bourgeois for the second spot. Slide jobs the Wicked Energy ride as Lubick crosses back for second, throws another slider in. Much easier to throw the sliders here at Eldora with the sprint cars than it is the modifieds. Shallow entry by both second and third place cars. Brian Moore Jr. runs in fourth. Again, everyone makes it into the show regardless, so nobody has to worry about where they finish in this heat race for sure. Brian Moore Jr. for third takes it away. And Boussois read it well. Back to third. Three laps to go here in Heat 1. Dan McLaren with a good start, 0.6 of a second lead on Brandon Templeton. Showing that he's got a fast car capable enough for moving up to Renegades tonight. Bourgeois still trying for the third spot. Final lap underway, and man, oh man, a 6:13.46 last lap for Dan McLaren as he makes his way through 3 and 4, sees the checkered flags, and takes the win in the heat. Brandon Templeton second, Moore third, Bourgeois fourth, Bixler fifth, Parmalee is sixth, and Todd in seventh. We now move on to heat race number 2, brought to you by Regency Home Inspection. And it's the Ayla Outlaw, Preston Kramer on pole position in the 07. Next to him, it's Brian Moore Sr. in the 558. Row number 2, the Goose, Jack Cote in the 11, and Slide Job Isaac Salas in the number 5. Row number 3, it's Gary Alpha in the 94, and the Toxic Texan, Corey Denson in the 91. Rounded out the grid, it is Mike Cranmer in car 70. Winner starts the outside of the front row as Regency Heat 2 is underway. We're wasting no time tonight, that's for sure, as Preston Kramer comes through with the early race lead. Brian Moore Sr. in second, Cote third. Denson already up 2 spots in the fourth, but may have just edged out Cote for the third spot after lap number 1. Now challenges Moore Sr. for second. Looks to the middle groove of the racetrack. Up in the slick stuff. Open the door for Gary Offit to try and take away third from the 91. And may lose another spot here to Chet Cote. The Goose back up to fourth. Isaac Salas, quickest car on track, 13.63, but up on the wall once again. Now shows his nose underneath on Denson for fifth. Lost a lot of time, though, that last lap. Halfway home, still the Outlaw. Preston Cranmer out in front. The gap 0.2 of a second. I'm Brian Moore Sr. Cote with a very weird slide job. Gary Offa now moves up to third. So the Sim Racing Concepts ace have a good run here as here goes Senior for the lead. Oh, look out! Having Preston Cranmer get together and collect solace in the process too. Senior took a risk and it did not pay off. 2 laps to go, and it's Gary Offa that's got a chance to start on the front row. Solace up to third after tapping the wall. Very quickly, replay to show you this slider. Yeah, I just did not have the room one bit. And Preston went for a wild ride, that's for sure. Checkers, meanwhile, already out on heat 2. Gary Offa takes the win. Cote second, Salas third, Denson fourth, Cranmer fifth, Cranmer sixth, and Moore seventh. Final heat race brought to you by Mountwer Farm Management. Here's a look at the starting lineup. Man, this looks like the retreads have the power play here. Or no, actually it's 3-on-3, I'm sorry. On the pole, it's the captain, Gary Taylor, in the 34. Next to him, it's the 789 of Cale Bixler. Row number 2, Randy Shreves with the 56. And next to him, the Marty Mobile in the 83. Hi, Brandon. It's the Spider Monkey, Brandon Dittmer. Final row tonight, the Bassman, Roger Craig in the 747. And Steve Maurer in the 888. Roger with a special paint scheme tonight, and I believe this is word for word off of Wikipedia, if I were to guess. It's in honor of Truth and Reconciliation Day in Canada, which is today, established to document the effects of the residential school system, ran from 2008 to 2015, and conclude that the attempt to forcefully assimilate indigenous communities was a cultural genocide. Final heat race set to go tonight. Winner on the inside of row number 2. Back to green we go at Eldora. Oh, look out, look out. That's getting ugly pretty bad. Taylor, Cale Bixler, Brandon Dittmer. Just an accordion effect on the outside. Taylor leads lap number 1. Oh, Roger Craig just slammed the door. Right in my face. Legit right in my face. Look at that shark-headed scheme. Oh, contact between Dittmer and Steve Maurer for the 4th position. And Dittmer's got a problem with that 83. Taylor, the quickest driver right now at a 14:31, but it's Randy Shreves in that 56 trying to catch him. Roger Craig now the fastest man, 13:98 after 3 laps. And Dittmer's crashed. He's pulled it off. Gonna play it safe than sorry. Get the car ready for feature time. Now it's Shreves, 13:98. He's got a chance on the race lead. Wing to wing into turn 3. Shreves throws over the slide job, and the 56 to the point. 3 laps to go as Gary Taylor trying to fight back at that 34. Right now, not working. Shreves still quick, 13:87. Two to go. Best race on track is Steve Maurer, Cale Bixler for 4th. Again, everyone makes the show tonight no matter what. Final lap underway for the LGR Motorsports 56 of Randy Shreves. Shown he's been the fastest man in this heat race as he goes through 3 and 4. Shreves picks up the win in heat race number 3. Taylor 2nd, Craig 3rd, Maurer 4th, Cale Bixler 5th, and Dittmer in 6th. Step aside and go to break here. When we come back, feature time for the Rebels right here on the Coast to Coast Racing Network. Warm-ups continuing here at the moment. Just under a minute left to go here. Dan McLaren the quickest, 13.95. Brian Moore Sr. second, 13.96. Templeton third, 13.96. Cote fourth with a 13.99. And Preston Kramer fifth at a 14.09. Mike Kramer and Corey Denson, Isaac Salas all running together. Parker Vance checking in. Rooting for Denson tonight. Sad he just missed that wreck. I believe he's referring to the wreck with Preston Kramer, Brian Moore Sr. So we get set to go racing here for our next feature of the night. Let's meet the field and give you your RSN trackside starting lineup. On the pole, it's Soupy Dan McLaren in car number 88 to his outside, Gary Offut in the 94. Row number 2, the captain, Gary Taylor in the 34, and B-Temp, Brandon Templeton in the 31. Row 3, the Goose, Chad Cote in the number 11, and Randy Shreves in the 56. Row 4, Brian Moore Jr. in the 09, and Slide Job Isaac Salas in car number 5. Rounding out the top 10, the Bassman Roger Craig in the 747, and Ludovic Boussois in the 072. That's how the top 10 look. Row number 6, Corey Denson, the Toxic Texan in the 91, and Steve Maurer in the 888. Row number 7, the Mayor Steve Bixler in the 75, and Mike Cranmer in car 70. Row number 8, Cale Bixler in the 789, and Greg Parmalee in the 4. Final 2 rows. Row 9, the Ayla Outlaw, Preston Cranmer in the 07, and the Spider Monkey, Brandon Dittmer in the 83. And row number 10, it's Michael Todd in the 117, and Brian Moore Sr. in the 558. Pick to win, Dan McLaren. I don't think you pick anyone else. Time to shake and bake for the second time tonight. Flatline Racing Bodies, green flag comes out. It's time to get it on for the Rebels. Trouble, Gary Taylor around, and a bunch of others. Look out. At least 5 cars are involved. The Marty Mobile gets a facelift. Michael Todd, Brian Morris Sr., Brandon Dittmer, Brandon Templeton, Gary Offut, a boatload of cars. Ah, yeah. Contact between Taylor and Templeton. And then it was just on from there. Let's show you Mike Cranmer. At that impact by Mike. On board the couple of drivers, Brandon Templeton. Try to hang on. He got 2 cars. Had no steering. Got Taylor, got Offut. Michael Todd, who was just minding his P's and Q's in the back of the pack. Well, better to keep it sideways. Oh, man, Michael Todd. Nice job dodging a few close calls. Watch Brian Moore Sr. I don't even think he had any damage in the accident. So, sounds like we completed 1 green flag lap. And that is the case. So we're ready to go to the green flag here. Dan McLaren to bring everybody back to green with 1 lap of the books. McLaren holds serve. Cote stays second. Salas and Moore Jr. battle it out for the 3rd position. At the line, I think it was Salas for the bottom step of the podium. Roger Craig currently rounds out the drivers in the top 5. That would transfer to the Renegades, but you got to transfer pending your IL. So that's a little something that you have to keep in mind here tonight. We just saw Corey Denson make a pass, but we got trouble again. Mike Cranmer, Gary Taylor, Brandon Templeton. A couple of cars involved in that one. So our second yellow flies here tonight. Just got the back of the 70. Now that's not a hazard there, that's for sure. But this is the cause of the yellow here with Mike Cranmer. Gary got him. Taylor even got collected in the accident himself, too. Bet you if I'm Dan McLaren, I just love to go racing already just because of how fast that race car is. Alrighty, first double fire restart coming up here. Dan McLaren, Chad Cote, row 1. Brian Moore Jr., Isaac Salas, row 2. Corey Denson, Roger Craig, row 3. Preston Kramer, Steve Bixler, row 4. Ludwig Boussois and Steve Maurer round out the top 10. This is the Chapman Racing drone as we come back to green. McLaren fires. Salas already looking for that second spot on the goose. Can he take it from Chad Cote into 3? Back to yellow. For what, I ask you? So I think I give you the answer. May have been Steve Maurer. Take a look. Contact off the kill. Not bad of a save by him, at least. Don't think we're going to need an onboard for that, though. So I believe this will be a single file restart coming up here. Alrighty, I believe this is single file restarts for the rest of the race, and this is only lap number 7. We're coming to lap 8 here for this restart. Cote tried to time the restart on McLaren. That doesn't work, though. Salas for second, trying to make this Venom Racing 1-2 at the moment. The only one for the slide job there was Salas. Cote with a big run and hangs on to second. Roger Craig, Corey Denson, Steve Bixler, 3 wide. Final transfer spot on the line. The Mayor continuing to rip it around the outside. He has the preferred line off the corner. Bixler up to 5th. So the Bassman down to 6th. Kramer trying to make some spots up after he flipped in his heat race. So there was some contact with Brian Moore Sr. from a slide job. Kramer already up 11 spots, kisses the wall, hangs on to 6th. On board with the Outlaw as he tries to set his sights on Steve Bixler for the final spot in, but we'll have to wait. Gary Taylor, and it sounds like Chad Cote is also involved. Taylor is up on his lid. But were the two the same? Just spun it. Oh my goodness. Dan McLaren barely avoided incident. Right on board with Cote. Yeah, the captain just had an ill-handling race car pretty much, and I honestly don't know if he should have been out there with that race car based off the position he was in. You see a bunch of the damage there on Chad Cote. So McLaren to try and bring us back to green, but the question is, what's the damage look like on not just him, but maybe even Isaac Salas after that accident? Salas for the lead on his teammate. Salas went for the slide job. McLaren hangs on to the lead. That contact may have maybe even improved his race car. Salas just showed his teammate and buddy that he's got something. He's got a hot rod to go for this race lead, but he can't be hitting the wall like that. Not bad of a diamond, though, off of turn 4 for Isaac. Let's go to the battle for 4th now. Steve Bixler, Preston Cranmer. Going at it. Brandon Dittmer's recovered quite well after the lap 1 accident. Up in the 6th position after he started 18th. Ooh, tight racing between Moore Sr. and Denson as the two barely touched. Denson tries to counter. Battle again for the race lead. Slide job. Salas thinks better of it. As we're past the halfway mark here. And now a Rebels feature. Still watching Preston Cranmer and Steve Bixler closely. We go back to yellow. It's time. It's Michael Dodd and Greg Parmalee. And Maurer has flipped it once again. Hearing Templeton was also involved. Ooh, caught the Jersey Bear. Oh, man, that's a big impact. But now I'm wondering is, what did this accident bring in Brandon Templeton and Steve Maurer? Past 1. Ooh, Parmalee, yeah, just too much of a ricochet. And how did Templeton? That was very odd. I don't even think he got hit by anybody. It's lost it all by himself. All right, Steve King Foundation pace truck is in. McLaren brings us to green with 13 to go. So the 88 able to hold serve. Salas, Moore Jr., Bixler, Cranmer, the top 5. The moment. Oh boy, this could get ugly again. What a save by both Bixler and Preston Cranmer. That puts both of them out of the top 5. Corey Denson trying to gather it back. Take it easy there, Corey, so you don't get involved in an accident. One car at a time. Bixler! Oh my goodness! That car's on ice. Wow. Brian Moore Sr. has now moved up into the final transfer spot. Battle for the lead. Slide job. Salas. Low sideways off for 2. McLaren hangs on. We're coming to 9 laps to go this time. And McLaren counters back with a slider of his own. And he gathers it back to the point. McLaren tries the slider once again. Does Salas crisscross him? Oh no, he just left the lane wide open. But that's for McLaren to throw the slider in on the number 5. Templeton sideways off for 4. Nearly loops it around. That car's in big trouble. And now the battle for the podium. Brandon Dittmer. Brian Moore Jr. Throw it in for me, BD. He has better thoughts, that's for sure. McLaren, meanwhile, lead was up to 0.8 of a second. It's now gone down in half with 6 to go. Leaders are approaching some lap traffic, and Steve Maurer and McLaren knows the slider line is the place to be. Final spot still up for grabs between Brian Moore Sr. and Preston Cranmer. This one's far from over with 5 to go. Dittmer still trying for third on Moore Jr. Two-car length lead between McLaren and Salas, and McLaren's trying to play defense. Salas clips the jersey barrier but throws the slide job in. McLaren hanging on to the lead with 3 to go. And Salas spins it. Oh no! Got a little bit too frisky there, Isaac. Hey, we all know what Takuma Sato once said. No attack, no chance, and that for sure is what he was trying to do. Oh, you know, now thinking second of it, and great miss by Maurer. Second of it, I don't know if he actually hit the jersey barrier. We know he did in turn 4, but good car control there. Oh, you know what? You know what happened? I think he reacted to that jersey barrier. He tried to go to the right, and that just freaked the car out. So Salas now down to last. Dan McLaren remains out in front. But now how does Brian Moore Jr. play with the 88? How about the other 3 drivers up at least 10? Dittmer up 15, Moore Sr. up 16, Preston Cranmer up 12. Those 3 eligible for a top 5 spot. Chad Cote, after being involved in that wreck with Gary Taylor, he could make it in the show. A reminder, Renegades coming up next on the Coast to Coast Racing Network, the big show. Here we go for the restart. 2 laps to go. Dan McLaren holds serve. Dittmer looking low for the second spot. If he can finish runner-up, I believe it would be 2 seconds in a row, but guess what? He would take it, especially from where he started. Final lap is underway for the driver of the Venom Racing Black Rifle Coffee Company, number 88. Dan McLaren makes his way through turns number 3 and 4. Had to hold off his teammate to do it, and Dan McLaren has earned it. Checkers wave. McLaren wins from the pole. Dittmer second, Moore Jr. third, Moore Sr. fourth, Chad Cote fifth. Dittmer up 16, hangs on and gets the hard charger. He's going to pull that baby in onto victory lane. No, don't hit my crew. Almost took out his... Oh, he may have actually heard me say that. So McLaren gets to park it up on victory lane, and here is how the results look. Again, BD, the hard charger of the race. Top 5 all eligible. Cote actually stole 5th there in the end, so he would make it pending IL. Preston Cranmer, though, also a great run, up 11 tonight. Rest of the field here looks like this. I would have to say the heartbreak without question, Isaac Salas in 14th. Nobody wants to talk with me. Nobody's in the waiting room. Yeah, I can force them in. All right, we got everybody in here. So we'll begin with our third place finisher, Brian Moore Jr. Brian, a nice race inside the top 5. What'd you enjoy about that one, though?
Really just enjoyed hanging on there because that was just threading the line there at the end, and I was losing it a little bit, trying to think about a different line and maybe thinking about shooting for the bottom, but with only 2 laps to left, I just figured I'd stick to the top and hopefully deal with any sliders that came in, and really just shooting for the top 5 so I can advance.
I'll have to check pending on the IL. As long as it's under the requirement, you would be eligible to race Renegades. What do you think of that?
Yeah, you might not believe it lately, but yeah, I do try to keep an eye on where my safety rating sets at and try to keep my numbers low.
Who do you want to give shout outs to on the run?
I want to say hey to Jarris and Andy, some buddies I got watching, and my Uncle Rick. He's always tuned in and watching, and C2C, all you guys, and Dad for hanging out with me all the time.
Alrighty, man. Well, we'll let you go. Great job tonight, and best of luck in the Renegades.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
All right, let's go to the man that finished in second tonight, Brandon Dittmer in the 83. Brandon, great job putting my face on the podium once again tonight. Take me through that pass at the end for second.
I just knew I had to be on him right as we went into one there for that right after that restart, and I didn't know if I was going to get enough, but I got it down into that tack down the backstretch and just shot it in the 3 and 4. Luckily, she stuck, didn't give me any problems, and came away with a solid second.
How would you feel about your car in this race as a whole tonight? Did you feel like it benefited you late in the race?
I was a lot better earlier in the race, but being in traffic and all the cautions were really killing everything that I had. At one point, I passed like 4 or 5 cars in one lap, but I had to give them all back because the caution came out before we got back to the line. But other than that, it was decent. Just getting involved in that wreck early kind of set me back a lot, and luckily came back from it.
Who do you want to give shout-outs to?
You for the broadcast and for the inspiration for the scheme. Roger for Coast to Coast. Speed Factory for the setup. Boys out of Venom for letting me hang out with them today. And I think that's it.
Alrighty, we'll let you go. Great job and best of luck in Renegades.
Thank you.
Alrighty, Brandon Dittmer finishing in second. Now we go to Victory Lane to talk with your winner, Dan McLaren. Dan, you look dominant. I mentioned once you got the lead in your heat race after lap 1, I mentioned how I think you had a little bit too much coffee today.
I may have had 3 cups today, so yeah, the thing was definitely a rocket, I'll tell you that.
Yeah, what a car you had, but you had to hold off your teammate there at the end before he spun out. It wasn't easy.
No, he definitely did better on saving the right rear, so he had more tire than I did. But I went back, watched the replay, and he just nicked the inside wall to, upset his car, and then the car just went around. So that's a bummer because it would have been cool to run to the finish with him.
Did you feel like once he spun out with 2 to go, did you feel comfortable that you were going to get this?
Yes and no. I mean, you can never count out the Moores and Dittmer, man. Like they're fast guys, so you gotta hit your marks because if you mess up, they'll take advantage of the opportunity. So, but it's a bummer that we were running 1-2 for Venom, so it's wish we could have got that.
What do you expect in Renegades?
Just the finish. These guys are even faster, so it's fun advancing and then racing against these guys because it's the big show. So as long as I finish on the lead lap and, finish top 10, that'll be a good night.
Who do you want to give shout outs to?
You guys for the broadcasts every night, every week.
It's always fun to go back and watch them. Roger and everybody put the league on. All the boys over at Venom, Isaac and I were just clicking right now with the sprint cars, nailing these setups. So big shout out to him and thanks to him. Born to Foam Insulation, warming you up 1 inch at a time. Marquee Manufacturings, JRB Designs with this, badass wrap. And yeah, that's about it.
Alrighty, we'll let you go. Great job tonight, and best of luck in Renegades. Congratulations.
Thanks, Marty. Appreciate it. Good to have you back.
Yeah, thank you. Dan McLaren with the win in Rebels. We will step aside and go to break. When we come back, Renegades take shape right here on the Coast to Coast Racing Network. It's time for another edition of RSN Trackside, powered by Bob Johnson Auto Group on Rock Sports Network. Kiss on the champion. Trying to be at the
hiatus, so let's get.
Tonight when we talked about it.
Outpouring of love was amazing. These dollars had come together to support us, and we realized no, we didn't want to use them for us. We wanted to use them to help others.
The foundation has done so much for so many people. It helps any family that has somebody, whether it be a crew member or one of the drivers, that get hurt. We can help them to get through the situation.
I was injured in a non-wing sprint car accident that broke my neck and left me with a spinal cord injury. I was in the hospital 8 months, and that got really, really expensive, so having that extra help to help push me and my family forward was a big deal.
I was involved in a pretty gnarly sprint car crash. Found out my brain was swelling and bleeding. Pelvic bone was broken. I had 2 cracked vertebrae on my back, and I was in the ICU a little over a week. The Steve King Foundation reached out to my parents. We received a donation from them. Immediately, they started me on what's called neurofeedback, and insurance did not cover the neurofeedback appointments. So we received another donation from the Steve King Foundation. It really helped a lot, and I just want to say thank you. Thank you from the bottom of my heart to the Steve King Foundation for everything that they have done for me. This last Sunday, I got to turn laps in my modified here. That was my first laps back in a race car since the accident, and I truly believe that if it wasn't for the Steve King Foundation, I wouldn't be able to do that or be where I'm at today.
Yes, Steve's death is the reason the foundation exists, but it's Steve's life, and it's the lives of racers everywhere, is the reason we're able to do the work we do.
Racetracks and Sunset, CC Dean Reynolds, as we get set to go once again for action. It's Renegades time, brought to you by our friends at Dillon Westbrook Racing. Welcome back, everyone, to the Coast to Coast Racing Network. Marty Sicalo with you. So glad you could join us once again. Right now, 3 races into the season. It's 2 wins for Patrick Spangler and 1 win for Jesse Atkinson. Been a good season so far of Renegades competition. We've got a full field with us tonight, 24 on the dot. I would also be completely fine if we went right into qualifying right now. But I think we may be waiting for a few more. I don't know, but there's some time left. Surprised with the lack of a B main, we did not have to... Actually, we could get going since we are past 8:15. So, but while we are at it, let's do a schedule look at what is coming up here within the next few days. All right, here's a look at what is coming up here the rest of the weekend next week. Tomorrow night, we've got retreads, Old Timer Tuesday. We've got Fix 360s at Outdoor and Pickup Trucks at Daytona, live on Shaggy TV. Wednesday night, we've got Hometown Heroes. We have 360s and 410s at Charlotte. You can watch that on Shaggy TV. Thursday night is Thursday Night Thunder with small blocks and big blocks at Limaland, followed by... that'll be broadcast, I think, maybe by Shaggy. We'll have to double-check with him on that, as long as it doesn't conflict with what's coming up afterwards for him. Next week, Lucas Oil Speedway. Don't want to miss that, that's for sure. So, all right, we got a full field, 24 drivers with us here tonight. First driver we watched, a brand-new paint scheme. It's been a couple weeks, obviously, since we had Monday Night Madness, but he's in the 25 Enterprises number 29. That is Steven Stewart. Stewart had that victory field scheme for a couple of weeks, but hey, sometimes you got to change it up a little bit. New is good. Again, 2 minutes to put up 2 laps. Dean Reynolds sets the pace. After Stewart went 13.89. Dan McLaren quick is 13.56. Let's watch Dino. Second in points coming in. Been very good. Steven Stewart up to second quick, 13.66. Second lap time, slower, but Dan McLaren's the quickest, a 13.56. Blake Chapman goes quick time, 13.50 for the salesman, 1.3504. That's 500ths better than what Dan McLaren put up. Here comes Gavin Chatham as he's halfway down the back chute in car number 99. Patrick Spangler is third quickest after lap number 2. Chatham with a slower lap time. Tyler Wilson 12th after lap 1, 13.74. Rick Mayne also working on his final lap. Here comes Wilson across the line to the checkers. Is it a better lap for him? Yes, it is. The 4th, 13.63. Rick Mayne also with a better lap, 13.66 to 7th. Qualifying is done. Blake Chapman is the quickest. And so that means we have Chad Cote, Brian Moore Sr., and Jesse Bandy. That will start on pole for each of the heat races. 3 heat races coming up. It's 10 through 12. That starts on the pole. Here we go for the lineup for heat race number 1, which is brought to you by Gambler Motorsports, official team of the Coast to Coast Racing Network. The Goose is on the pole. Chad Cote in the 11. Next to him, Rick Mayne in the 187. Row number 2, the Macho Man, Tyler Wilson in the 42. And the salesman, Blake Chapman in car number 20. Row number 3, the Spider Monkey, Brandon Dittmer in car number 83. The Pink Panther, Jesse Exton in the 127. Final row tonight, Bob DeGood in car number 7. And Brad Waite in the 814. Steven Stewart checking in. Good to hear from you. Happy to hear my voice once again. I appreciate that. J.J. Odell, the jet plane says, the inside wall giveth, and the inside wall taketh away. That's a good one. That may be the comment of the night there. That's like Uke tires at Land of Legends, the Tory tires as I call them. Me and the announcer there. The Tory tires giveth, and the Tory tires taketh. Here we go. Winner starts on pole tonight for the 35-lap features. We're underway. Everyone searching for the high line as quick as possible. Rick Mayne has the lead. Blake Chapman already up to second through 2 corners. He wants to lead off at turn number 4, but it's Mayne that leads lap number 1. They've got a pretty good gap on Chad Cote and Jesse Atkinson early in this one. Good race for 4th. Atkinson in the middle. Inside his way. Upstairs is Brandon Dittmer. Oh, in the wall pretty good is BD. The Marty Mobile needs some plastic surgery going into the feature tonight. So it's made the pack a little bit farther out. As Wilson and Exton continue to do battle. Pink Panther able to clear Tyler Wilson for 4th. Still Blake Chapman. He actually is taking the lead as we're halfway home, 4 up and 4 down. Let's see if we can go to the pass that showed you where the salesman's took the race lead away from Rick Mayne. And obviously we knew he was going to be a threat to watch out for tonight. Just went around the outside and took it away. Two laps go in heat 1. Both Atkinson and Wilson close on Chakotay. Man, Wilson snatches it down underneath on Atkinson, throws the slide job. Pink Panther tries to counter it back. Final lap underway in the heat race. Atkinson sends it in, has a hole just in front of Tyler Wilson. The Macho Man counters it back. Here comes Blake Chapman off at turn number 4. He starts on pole for tonight's 35-lap feature. Meanwhile, with the line, it's Wilson over Atkinson. Good heat race at the kickoff tonight for the Renegades, but Blake Chapman starts on pole looking for his first win of the season. Heat 2 brought to you by Regency Home Inspection. And on the pole, it's Brian Moore Sr. in the 558. Next to him, Steven Stewart in the number 29. Row number 2, Gavin Chatham in the 99. And it's Soupy Dan McLaren in car number 88. Row 3, it is the Money King, Kyle Moonen in the 24, and the 513 of the Bird to Beast, Jeff Barker. Final row tonight, the jet plane, J.J. Odell in the 38, and Barry Gollner in car 36. Here we go for heat race number 2. Winner starts the outside of the front row. Here we go. Brian Moore Sr. up the hill for just a moment. Here comes Steven Stewart. Low on Moore Sr. Throws in the slider for the race lead. He leads the opening lap. Dan McLaren counters it back. He now looks low on both of them. Goes for the 2 for a discount. Oh, there goes Stewart. Big time crash and collects a bunch of them. There are only 2 cars, maybe 3 that escaped this. Moonen, Odell, and Barker. And the Money King has had a rough past few months, that's for sure. If he can start on the front row, that would be a huge confidence booster. Especially in good equipment and good setups like he does with Vanderbilt. Here's the look. McLaren went for it, just barely caught Stewart. Moore Sr., Chatham. Wow. All those cars that were involved is crazy. Barry Gollner in the 4th position, just went a lap down. In fact, I think he actually just passed Brian Moore a couple moments ago for 4th, and he did. So he's getting some pretty good starting spots here. And Moonen, quickest car on track, 13.91. Final lap is underway here for the Money King. Quick laps after quick laps, just timed in a 13.83 as he takes the checkers, a 13.86, but Moonen wins heat 2. Odell 2nd, Barker 3rd, Gollner, Moore, Chatham, Stewart, and McLaren. Final heat race brought to you by Maurer Farm Management. Here is the starting lineup. Jesse Bandy, the Vanderbilt Master on pole in the 49. Next to him, it's Dean Reynolds, Dino in the 79. Row number 2, Gentleman Jack Hitt in the 217. And the high side banger, Patrick Spangler in the 39. Row 3, John Short in the 51. And Chad Griggs next to him in the 27. Final row tonight, it's Brian Moore Jr. in the 09. And the Desert Demon, Terry Landis in the 161. Field gets set to take the green flag for our final heat race of the night. Winner starts the inside of row number 2. Green flags are on. Good start from Jesse Bandy. Reynolds 2nd, Spangler in 3rd, Jack Hitt. Chad Griggs do battle for 4th. Bandy off at turn 4 leads the opening lap. The leaders all ripping the top here of the racetrack. Bandy decides to cover low, test out the slider line. That actually worked out for him really well. Gap at 0.3 of a second. Here comes Spangler. on Dean Reynolds. Top two in the championship go to war for second, but Dino hangs on to second. And now it's a Chad Griggs this time with that number 27 in his first full year as a Renegade driver. Tries to get some slipstream off for Patrick Spangler. That doesn't work though, but Dino gets really tight in turn number 4. That allows Patrick Spangler to close in a little bit. Reynolds lost a 1/10 of a second there to 3rd and 4th each. But stayed on track as we got trouble. Brian Moore Jr. flipping violently, and same with Terry Landis. Vicious crash for both of them. A quick look at what happened. Here are the bottom two on the track. And this moment right there is where the tribe spoke. Come to the white flag this time, 1 lap to go. It's still Reynolds and Spangler battling out for the second position. So Vanderbilt cars could be the favorites to win here tonight. But they gotta try and chase down the salesman, Blake Chapman. Spangler tries the slide job off at turn number 4. Checkers wave. Bandy wins the heat. Reynolds edges out Spangler for second. But a great heat win from Bandy. They put the cars second and third on the lineup tonight, the two highest. Heat races are done. When we come back, it's showtime right here on the Coast to Coast Racing Network. 35 laps around the corner. Final moments of warm-ups before we go green, and it's Dan McLaren the quickest at a 13.98. Blake Chapman second, 14.03. Gavin Chatham third, 14.11. Patrick Spangler fourth, 14.13. And Chad Griggs fifth at a 14.20. So watch the drivers take laps here for the final time. And that'll do it. So McLaren the quickest. And again, as we get set to go here for tonight, we appreciate you coming out, spending your Monday night with us. Let's meet the field of 24, set to take the green for 35 laps. Here's the RSN trackside starting lineup. On the pole, the salesman Blake Chapman in the 20. Next to him, it's the Money King Kyle Moonen in the 24. Row number 2, the Bandyboat Master Jesse Bandy in the 49, and Rick Main in the 187. Row 3, the Jet Plane JJ Odell and Dean Reynolds in the 79. Row number 4, the Goose Chad Cote in the 11. And the Brute to Beast, Jeff Barker, in the 513. Rounding out the top 10, the High Side Banger, Patrick Spangler in the 39, and the Macho Man, Tyler Wilson, in the 42. Row 6, Barry Goldner in the 36, and Chad Griggs in the 27. Row 7, the Pink Panther, Jesse Atkinson in the 127, and Brian Moore Sr. in the 558. Row number 8, John Short in the 51, and Brad Waite in the 814. Rest of the grid looks like this. Row number 9, Gavin Chatham in the 99. The Gentleman Jack Hit in the 217. Row 10, Bob DeGood in the 7. Dan McLaren in the 88. And row 11, Brian Moore Jr. in the 09. The Spider Monkey, Brandon Dittmer in the 83. Final row, Steven Stewart in car number 29. And the Desert Demon, Terry Landis in the 161. Time for picks to win tonight. You know what? I'm going to do it. Give me Dino to get it done from 6 tonight. Why not? Dean Reynolds gets his first Renegades win. I know I'm going to hear all about it tomorrow when I go to Syracuse. Tomorrow, but oh man, I don't care. I'm picking Dino to win. Set to go green here for the Flatline Racing Bodies green flag. One final time tonight that we get to shake and bake. Where else would you rather be than right here, right now, showtime at Eldora? Oh man, one car T-boned the wall. That was Brad Way in the 814. Oh my goodness, he went head on in the turn 2 wall. Watch this, oh my. John Short yeeted him big time. I heard there may have been another accident too. Watch Steven Stewart. 29, the accident, caution flag's already out here. Or is he just slowing up? Yeah, he was just slowing up here. Let's see, what does Short do in the 51? Oh, he ramped over Atkinson and lost control of his car big time. Now, Waite's going to be so mad at Short, but I'm sure when he sees the replay, he'll understand what went there, what happened there. Wow. You could just feel that at home. And we may have just messed up live timing. I'm not too sure. Nope, we didn't. We're good. Didn't complete the first lap, so obviously we put 1 lap in the books, and it's a single file start.
Green, green, green.
Good jump from Blake Chapman as he leads. Bandy in 3rd. Main still 4th. See who's the first driver to make a move amongst the front of the field here. Closest right now, 3rd and 4th and 5th and 6th. Did have a change moments ago for 8th. Patrick Spangler made his way past Jeff Barker and his teammate Tyler Wilson, trying to follow the driver, the number 39. And Spangler now peaks on Cote for the spot. Dino all over JJO down the battle for the 5th position. Take it right on board, then number 79. Slow, ooh, hanging on there. But can't give up that top there like he did to Chad Cote. The Goose looking for 6th. And Cote does take the 6th position away at the start-finish line. Now he's in no man's land. Wilson next to him. Spangler also next to him. Now it's Cote underneath on J.J. Odell. The Goose with a slider on the jet plane. And Cote moves up to 5th. But now Odell wants the position back from Cote. Got to be careful, though, with Tyler Wilson and Patrick Spangler there. Spangler up on the wall hanging on. Puts her back down in the 8th position. Now just had a change for 3rd. Rick Main, Jesse Bandy each going to war. Bandy with a slider to try and cut off the 187 from making a move. Go back to this 3-man race for 6th. And now Odell stuck in the middle groove. Dino working the top. And now he's back up to 8th. Gavin Chatham following him with a 99. How about the run that he's on? Up 8 positions on a racetrack that is tough to pass here tonight without question. You just cannot give up the top right now. That's a fact. But you can make sliders work too, that's for sure. So here's Chad Cote, as well as Tyler Wilson and Patrick Spangler. Working on Jesse Bandy. Oh, look at this. Who's that? That's Wilson, who looked low. And you heard as well, the 11 had to get off the throttle for a moment. And that may have caught as well Cote by storm, not just once, but twice. But good defense by the 11 to hang on to 5th. And here comes Chatham in that 99. Tries to attack Wilson for 8th. Tries to put it in a hole, but closed up by the 42. Meanwhile, we haven't even talked about this race up front because of how good the race has been for 4th. Blake Chapman leading by a half second on Kyle Moon, and leaders are about a straightaway away from lap traffic. Bandy and Spangler still race for the 4th position. Ooh, Spangler up on the wall, nearly catches Bandy. Good catch by the 39. Now he slams it over on Cote. Spangler with a slide jump of the Bandybilt Master up to 4th. Bandy tries to fight it back. However, though, both him and Spangler wash up the track, and Spangler touches the wall once again with the right rear sneaker, but actually gains some speed off the corner thanks to it. Gavin Chatham again on top. Oh, look out! That could end up ugly. Chatham and Cote got together. Oh, and a big crash by another car. That was Stewart in the 29, I believe. Second yellow comes out after a great long run. This was pretty much simple. One came up, the other came down, and they both just didn't see it coming. That's dirt track racing for you, unfortunately. And look at the wild ride that Steven Stewart takes. Right on board with Chatham here on the 99. Thrown underneath, but just does not expect Cote to come down. That's an unfortunate situation. And here comes Steven Stewart. Let's ride on board with Steven too. I want to see this. He's coming to the outside. Ooh. Yeah, there was nothing Steven could do, unfortunately. Coming to 1 to green this time. Alrighty, here we come for the restart. We're going to watch this from the Chapman Racing drone. Blake Chapman, the control car, catches Kyle Moonen sleeping. We're back to green. Main for second. And that 187 wasting no time, but watch out, the high side banger. Tries to go 2 for 1 through turns number 3 and 4. Patrick Spangler does get the Kmart discount up to second. I think, meanwhile, Main edged out the third position on Kyle Moonen. What a crossover by the 24 as well. Bandy fifth, and now Dean Reynolds gained some positions as well out of that crash. He's up to sixth. We watch the battle for the lead. Patrick Spangler, Blake Chapman go to war once again. This is one of the best rivalries we see in coast to coast. But these two obviously have a lot of respect for each other. Chapman hanging on by the skin of his teeth, using the banking as momentum. Spangler's going to have to figure out a different way to gather that race lead because you're not taking the top away from Chapman, especially with the way Eldora is like right now. Wilson, slide job, Bandy, fifth is his. So your biggest mover now with Chatham having the accident, the 88 of Dan McLaren, if he can get ninth away from Jesse Exon, which he just did, up 11 spots, now up 12 and get past Brian Moore Sr. He's got a great car set for the low line right now at Eldora. 10 laps remain here at the Big E. Lost a couple spots there. He's back down to 10th. Exon found a way back by him. Still remains the salesman out in front. Blake Chapman has increased the lead to 1.1 seconds on Patrick Spangler. I wonder if that 39 may be saving just a little bit for the end. I wonder if he's hoping for another caution, but can't be saving too much right now because now Kyle Moonen is all over the tail tank for the runner-up position. And it's great to see Kyle back running near the podium, that's for sure. Best battle on tracks for 6. Can Dino find his way past Jesse Bandy? His right tuck next to him, but a big stack up with Senior, Atkinson, and Dan McLaren. That's the race for 8th. McLaren makes his way past 1. Can he get up to the straightaway? Can't clear Exon there. McLaren may have to send it with a slide job. A beautiful slider by the 88. Moore Senior reads it well, and same with Exon, but McLaren really sideways on corner exit. Rides the wall in turn 3. And I think he got Exon for 9th there at the line. Now with a good chance to gather 8th. To the race for 2nd once again. And Moonen's all over Patrick Spangler. The 39's got company with 4 laps remaining. The Money King sends it in with a slide job. And 2nd is his. But a great counter back from Patrick Spangler. 3 laps to go for Blake Chapman with a 2.3 second lead. There's only one thing he doesn't want to see. But with the racing we've had here tonight at Eldora, please just stay green for right now. You saw Moonen scrape the wall, lost a lot of time to Patrick Spangler. Dino with company for 7th against Dan McLaren with 2 laps to go. McLaren up 12. He's got the hard charger right now at the moment. Off of turn 4, white flag waves. Final lap is underway for Blake Chapman. The driver of the Galen's homegrown popcorn, Krite Sim Racing. Number 20 makes his way through turns number 3 and 4. His first win of the season as they crash in front of him. Blake Chapman takes the win. Spangler 2nd. Rick Main is 3rd, sideways across the line. Wilson 4th, and Bandy 5th. We had a wreck as those back markers were taking the white flag. Don't know if we'll see it right here with Barry Goldner possibly. But but it was getting quite out of hand for sure. Ooh. More Junior wrapped over Cote. Just caused that big scatter up. Oh, look at Dittmer hanging onto that car at the end. A bunch of other drivers were as well. Top three have already taken their photo. So Chapman the winner by 2 seconds on Patrick Spangler. Main third, Wilson fourth, Bandy fifth. Moonen sixth, Reynolds seventh. Dan McLaren a phenomenal finish up 12 spots to eighth. Atkinson ninth, and Chad Griggs rounds out the top 10. As you look at the rest of the field, I guess you could say the heartbreak of the night would be either Odell or, actually, you know what? I'd go with Cote. Yeah, Chad Cote in that race tonight once again. Top three are with us. Let's go to Rick Main, our third place finisher. Rick, a great finish for you tonight. Walk us through your race as a whole.
Yeah, I felt okay there in the middle of the race. I just felt like the car wasn't real in the track, and I moved around a lot there late, trying every line I could think of, and then I was like, you know, what the heck? I'll pull the wing back a couple notches, and I found some bite on the top and ended up junking myself down the backstretch. I don't even know how I got third. Old boy must have ran out of gas or something.
Who do you want to give shout-outs to on this run, though?
Just all my boys at Inferno Motorsports. You know, we're doing great things over there. I love all those guys. D&T Designs, my boy Donald keeps all of us looking great. And my boy Dylan is brought back Highline Cinematography. So if you guys need any pictures, he does amazing work. Just all those guys.
Well, great job tonight. Congratulations on a third place finish. We'll hope to talk to you next week.
Awesome, man. Thank you, guys.
Rick Main finishes third. Let's go to Patrick Spangler finishing second. Patrick, take me through the race as a whole and what more you needed on the long run tonight.
Yeah, I started deep in the pack. Started to think ninth, and I had a really good start on the very first start. I think I went ninth, fifth on the bottom, and then the caution came out, so I'd go back to back and just work my way up to the front. It's mainly top. Got a little sketchy with a double slider there, and I think it was Jesse and JJ Odell maybe. And then I just want to put pressure on Blake because I know he was running just as hard as I was up there. But then I was talking to Blake, like the cushion we've never seen it that bumpy before here. Usually it's pretty smooth and you can run the top pretty good, but it was pretty rough up there today. I got all out of whack. I'm surprised Kyle didn't bury it into my rear a couple times because I was all into the wall and sideways, and that was a rough one there.
So you weren't trying to save anything. We were wondering if you were trying to save something possibly.
After I got in the wall once or twice, and then Blake got away from me, and I was trying to see if the middle was there, because I know it's been changing, with the new update, like sometimes the middle will come back in, so I just tried down there, but he was still pulling away from me, and then I saw Kyle catch me, so I went back up to the top. But yeah, it was just all over the place. I had hardly anything left on the right rear.
Who do you want to give shout outs to?
Just you for the awesome broadcast each week. Roger run the league. Triangles Racing, good showing tonight, and Dad Uncle back on watching.
Great job tonight, man, and hopefully we talk to you again on either Thursday or next week.
Yep, thanks.
So Patrick Spangler finishes second. Now we go to Victory Lane to talk with your winner. Blake Chapman gets it done. Blake, a dominant effort starting from pole. How important was qualifying up front tonight?
Yeah, it was. I was not expecting that, actually. I've never qualified very well here, so I wasn't expecting to be very quick. We threw a new setup at it tonight and came out set fast time, and I knew the top was the place to be, and we were starting fourth there, and we were able to get a good jump, and we got around Rick, who left the top open, which is huge because, track position is everything here at Eldora. It seems like the top usually just gets one lane around the top, so we were able to start on the pole, lucky to get a caution there at the very beginning to make it go single file, and then yeah, it was just a pretty difficult track tonight. Really, every time I've run at Eldora, it's been like a smooth cushion up top, and tonight it was really, really rough. So if I would have known that, I definitely would have tightened the car up a little bit, but still had a lot of speed and was able to lead all 35 here tonight.
Would you feel work better than maybe a guy like Spangler?
I don't know. I felt like I was really, really good through the middle, sliding up in 3 and 4 and hitting that corner. I was really consistent. And those last 10 laps there, so after I got around Patrick, after he threw that slider on me, I felt like I was really consistently hitting my line every single lap, which I started to build up a lead on him, I could see. So it was just getting consistent. The car was good. It was really, really good. Like I said, I wish I would have tightened it up a little bit if I would known the cushion would have been so rough, but it was good enough to get the job done here tonight.
Next week, I believe it is Limeland. Oh, no, that may be Thursday night, actually. Next week is Lucas Oil. How do you feel going on into that?
I believe we won the last Renegades race at Lucas Oil, so it should be interesting. Late Lucas Oil, more of like a late model big block track usually, but the sprints can put on a pretty good show there. Hopefully, we can get something dialed up for that race.
Who do you want to give shout-outs to on the run?
Yeah, I got to thank the parents for watching. I got to thank all the guys at KSR. I got to thank Preston at Epsilon Sprint Wraps and Andy at AJ Custom Creations. And of course, I got to thank Galen's Gourmet Popcorn. They got some of the best stuff out there. You can head over to their website and use code CART, that's C-A-R-T, at checkout for 15% off. And got to thank you for putting this broadcast on, Marty. Still thinking of you, buddy.
Appreciate that, man. Well, hey, congratulations on the win. Your first of the season. First of many more of the season.
Yeah, I hope so. Thanks, Marty.
Blake Chapman, your winner here tonight in the Renegades, so that will do it. Again, next Monday night, we head to Lucas Oil Speedway. That's always a fun one. Don't want to miss out on that next week. So that'll do it for us here, ladies and gentlemen. On behalf of everyone at the Coast to Coast Racing Network, all the fine drivers and sponsor, Roger Craig and his great group of admins, Mars Callis saying so long. Congratulations to your race winners here tonight. Dylan Kinsey in Open 358, Dan McLaren in Rebels, Blake Chapman in the Renegades. So long, everyone.